I'm back, and today I'm doing an experiment. I've done this once before but followed a meat recipe and it was a disaster. So I've been looking at some vegetarian recipes and hopefully this will work. So I'm going to be making some meatless meatballs with spaghetti and tomato sauce. So fingers crossed this works this time. These can actually be vegan or gluten-free. So let's give it a go and see what we do. Okay, so the first thing we've got is 20 grams of panko breadcrumbs. If you're doing this gluten-free, then I would just use dried breadcrumbs. They should be the same. And then we are going to add 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt. If you're doing this vegan, use coconut milk, the full fat one, so it's nice and thick. That's that. And then we're going to stir this in together. Now you want to do this first and leave it so that it can all soak into the breadcrumbs. Okay, so we'll put that aside, and next you need your vegetarian mince. So I've got the corn one, so this is the vegetarian one, which is gluten-free. There is a vegan one, but it's not gluten-free. So this was frozen, I've left it to defrost, but I always find with the corn that the pieces are too thick. So I'm just going to put this into a food processor, blend it up so that it's a bit smaller chunks. Okay, next up we need half a medium onion and 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. One of mine is huge. And we're going to dice the onion and crush the garlic. Okay, so once that's done, we're going to start adding everything into your breadcrumbs and yogurt. So we'll start with the mince. And then the onion and garlic. And then we need a tablespoon of chopped parsley. Next up is half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I've got a gluten-free one, but this is not vegan, so you have to make sure you get a vegan one if you're making this vegan. And then for the herbs and spices, we are supposed to have half a teaspoon of allspice and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now I didn't know, I haven't got any allspice, so I am instead going to have half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay. And then the last thing we need is a teaspoon of yellow mustard. Again, you'll need to check with the yellow mustard whether it is gluten-free. Okay, and then we should just be able to mix everything together. And being vegan, there's no egg in this to bind it, so I'm going to be interested to see how that works. I think it's best to get in with your hand in for mixing this one, so you can really mix in the breadcrumbs. And don't forget to add salt and pepper to this mix. Mix that around. That should have gone in earlier before we started mixing everything. Ah, there we go. Okay, next up you need a large baking tray which has been lined with greaseproof paper. I have got one of my baking mats on there because I like them. I think it's less wasteful and they're pretty good. So we're going to need a tablespoon measuring spoon or something similar so that you get equal sizes. So you scoop out some of the mince and then roll it into a ball. Okay, yeah, it is sticking together. Okay, it's kind of sticking, it's kind of crumbling. Okay, and then we place them on. I'm not sure how many I'm going to make, so let's have a look and see. Okay, so I found that once I'd spooned it out, you want it to be heaped. I tried levelling it off and they end up really small. So a little bit heaped, put it in your hand and then squeeze, and the moisture out of the corn where it was frozen and now defrosted, it lets it out and it helps to combine everything together. So I have ended up with 25 balls, but as you can see some are a little bit smaller, so it might have only been 22 or 24 balls. But that's that done, and now we're going to go in the oven at 200 degrees, and the recipe says 20 to 30 minutes, so that's quite a wide ballpark. So I'm going to go in for 12 minutes, turn them over, and then hopefully I'll be able to judge then. So they're going in now. Okay, so it's been 12 minutes and they're looking pretty good actually, so I'm just going to turn them all over. I don't think they're going to need half an hour. Okay, and they all stay together pretty well as well. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to give it another 10 minutes and then we'll see. Okay, so that was another 10 minutes, so they are done. I would say 20 minutes and they would be done, so to 10 minutes, turn them over, another 10 minutes. Okay, now let's make the pasta and the sauce for this to go with. Okay, on to the sauce then. So I'm doing this in a large deep frying pan because I'm going to mix everything in together. So I put 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm going to be doing this for 2. So if you want to do for 4 like the meatballs are, then double everything that I'm doing. Okay, so once the oil has started heating up, we're going to add half a small onion that's been thinly diced. So you want to get it as thin as possible. And we're going to fry this off for 2 or 3 minutes until it starts to go translucent. Okay, and after a few minutes we're going to add 1 clove of garlic which has been thinly sliced, and we're just going to fry that off for 1 minute until you can start smelling garlic. Okay, and then we are going to add a tablespoon of tomato puree, and then we're just going to fry that off for 1 minute as well. Okay, and then we're going to add a whole carton of passata, or you can use a tin of chopped tomatoes, but I wanted something smooth today. So we're going to mix that round, turn the heat down, get everything mixed in, and we're going to leave this to simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, once the sauce is done, we're going to add a tablespoon of fresh basil, and we're going to mix that in. And then add some salt and pepper. Mix that in as well, and then we're ready to put the pasta in. Okay, so I've gone with about 60 grams of spaghetti for each person. And then we'll mix that round in the sauce. Okay, there's a bit too much sauce, so I'd say that sauce would actually cover for 4. I wasn't sure, but hey, we'll go with it now. Okay, so we're going to place the meatballs in. And that, you're pretty much ready to serve. But I'm going to add a little bit extra. I'm going to add a sprinkle of mozzarella on top. Then that's going to go under the grill for a couple of minutes. Wow, That looks so good. Right, let's give this a try. Okay, I'm just going to try one of the meatballs in the sauce. Mmm. Mmm. They're a little bit chewy. I think when cooking them I might spray a little bit of like 1 cow spray or a little bit of oil on top. I think they'll be perfect. They are really tasty though. Definitely one to try. The rest of them are going to go in the freezer, so I'll be able to get them out whenever I want. But yeah, really good. I'm really pleased with that. So keep experimenting, have fun, and I will see you next time. Bye!